Once upon a door, the future came before. There is no past and no last in this story, which lasted shorter than its glory, and yet has never been told. This is the story of the studio, a vast workshop distended in space and time. Even now, machines are whirring, plans are planning, and electrons spinning, all according to a most fantastic choreography. It is not so much a dream factory as a dreaming factory. A production plant, more stratospheric than Jack's beanstalk and more distorting than Alice's mirror. A place where cables climb the clouds and nanocircuits line the event horizon. The studio generates countless terabytes of sleep and impenetrable emptiness for its competitors, but also vertiginous gaps in space-time. For the studio's reveries are by no means simple diversions. Its purpose is not to fill existing gaps, but rather to create hollows, voids, and lacks in order to have enough free space to remix the fabric of reality. Although the studio believes in madness, it is never alone. There's always someone plugged into the brain of the machine, providing it with signals and solutions. Even when you skate in the park while thinking in beats, twists, and spaces, part of your brain might be participating in the activity of the studio. When your telephone rings in an unknown ringtone, beware. The studio is calling. The studio records everything that it does and replays it at different speeds in different circumstances. Best after the end is the way the studio labels many of the products it releases, and never is a warranty given until the expiration date has been reached. The studio never shies away from adopting bootleg versions of itself into its family, chance being one of the family's best friends. Least but not last, the studio never throws away its errors. They either become agents of disillusionment or a recast for roles in other scenarios. While generating multiple entrance points to the same story, the studio creates parallel versions of itself and examines the consequences these entail, which does not at all impede it from studying negative particles of impossibility as well. And yet, strange truth, no one was ever seen entering or exiting the studio. The whole thing seemed to be sealed off, impenetrable, with no one inside to run the controls. It is rumored that there are 1,000 ways to enter the workshop and 1,001 to exit, but there is no door. And that is precisely what the studio is dreaming about. Where is the door?